Welcome back to Outside, Inside, Outside Racing. I am Ian. This is my 1972 Celica known as Dale, and today we're going to remedy an old problem that I inherited with this car that has implications on how I will be able to use the car in the future. Short story, the windshield is cracked, and we're going to get a new one. So let's get the car outside and get it set up for the professionals to take over. All right, today's the day. New windshield for Dale. I got the seal out here heating up, and I've got the, I figured it's good to get the windshield into the sunshine too. I don't know. I don't do windshields, but let's take a look at why we're replacing it. All the way up from the bottom to the top, one big crack right in the middle. And in the state of Missouri, you cannot have a crack in your windshield. Otherwise, you can't get inspected. So far, I've been running around, just testing the car. But I want to make it legal beagle. So fellas are coming today to do the windshield. Now, let's tell the story of the windshield. When I bought the car, Dale, from the man Dale not only had this seal, which I also had a seal because I was ready to do this job on Dorothy, my other Celica, but he had a brand new in the crate reproduction windshield. That's actually the one in the back, though. There's two windshields here, right here. The one in the back is a reproduction, and the one in the front is an original OE windshield from my 74 Celica. Now, since I have options, I'm looking at both options. I'm going to have the glass guys that are coming today check them both out, see what they think. I cleaned up the original one as good as I could, but that old, he told me it's butyl that's around the outside edges, and if you know anything about that, apparently the only thing that can really remove it well is new butyl, which is funny. So that presented another problem because there's clips that hold in the trim of the windshield on these old cars. Here's what I have for clips right now. I've got this thoroughly broken one, and I've got all of these that I've got swimming in a pool of brake clean to try to remove some of the butyl. These are the original ones that I took off of my 74. This is what I'm talking about if you're not familiar. Underneath this trim is a rubber seal like this that's held in with butyl, and then underneath that seal are those clips that poke out from the sides, and that's what lets you clip the trim into it. All right, these fellas are here getting to work. What's your all's names again?
Ray.
And you are?
I'm Jeremy.
You're Jeremy?
Yes, sir.
All right, they're with NKC Auto Glass. And it's going to be an 816 phone number, and that's the rest of it right there. If you're in the Kansas City area, these are the guys I've heard. I've been told. How rusty is it under there, I wonder?
I can't tell you because there's so much dirt in there.
Yep. It doesn't look, I've seen worse. I've seen worse already, yeah. That looks pretty good, actually, compared to the last one I tore apart. Getting closer now. There's no glass in it. Good God. Gone.
That's the easy part.
Yeah. Well, there's a ridiculous amount of butyl around the frame from the factory, they said, but that's not the way it goes anymore. So the seal will go back in with whatever butyl's still there. Putting the clips in now to hold the trim on.
Being this old,
yeah.
And that's another reason they put that butyl in there. It's just like an extra deterrent for like rain.
Yeah, sure.
Any moisture.
Yeah. If you were going to let it sit outside. So,
right.
Yeah.
So that's another reason besides it going down the factory line that it would do that.
Yeah.
Because inevitably any cars this age with that gasket, you're going to have a leak.
Sure.
That's why people, like, the first time they see like any precipitation or anything inside their car, they're like, "Oh, my windshield's leaking."
Yeah.
But with gaskets this old, like, that's
kind of par for the course.
I mean, with an older car, like, again, like, it's not something you're going to keep outside. Either continue to do what it's already done to the car.
Yeah. I wish I would have thought of this before now, but I kind of like to see what it looks like with just the seal in it, without the chrome on it. That gives it kind of a more modern look when you don't have that trim on there, but I feel like the trim painted properly is going to be the better way to go. Yeah, I kind of labored over like, oh man, do I have a seal? I don't know if I have a seal. And then I went over to look where I had the windshield, and the seal was just laying right on top of it. And I was like, I was smart because I knew that I would lose it, so I put it with the windshield.
What am I gonna dream about? I done dream in life. I'm trying to wake up and live and make some money off dreams that people been making off my dreams. People been there doing everything I dreamt about. The electricity, no good. You know I ain't gonna go for nothing like that. I pull the plug out and then what's
Like the window cleaner?
Just, yeah, it's glass cleaner.
Glass cleaner?
Basically, like, move it up a little bit.
Okay. I don't want to give away any tips of the trade, but I think people can see this on YouTube if they want to. So,
Yeah,
you know, yeah.
It's
But-
one of those things that, you know, you could...
You can do this yourself, but you should not. That's,
We'll tell you everything we're doing,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's more of those things like, good luck trying to do it.
Yeah, you've done this many, many times, and that's why you are here. Because like I said, I did it on my buddy's car, and I was like, I'm not even attempting that.
not gonna get any lighter.
Thank you guys for doing this weird job. You know, I'm glad I can provide some variety. I'm not sure that it's not an aftermarket windshield to begin with, you know. Oh, it did have some scratches on it, doesn't it?
There's some little they're called pits, not...
Yeah, sure. Can you polish it and get that? Is that a thing that can be done to glass, or is that probably not going to come out?
It's, honestly, it's 50-50.
Yeah.
Maybe not. So, back when we both worked at Safelite,
Yeah.
we'd have some like polishing compound and stuff that maybe, I mean,
Yeah,
you get like
50% chance maybe. Okay, so how did we do? Well, there's a new windshield in the car. So we, pretty good. And I say we, but I mean they. The guys at NKC Auto Glass did a great job. I like it. I think the Butyl was doing some work of holding the trims in because these trims are not quite as tight as I'd like them to be, or maybe it's missing a clip or two. I'll figure all that out once I take it off to repaint them. But for now, they are in there, and I can accept that until it like flaps around in the wind. There's Butyl all over the car. That comes off with some isopropyl pretty easily, so I'll get that off here after a while. The big deal to me right now is this headliner. So you can see it. There's Butyl all over it. Whenever you rub it with the isopropyl or anything on a microfiber, then the Butyl just pushes around and doesn't actually come off of the rubber. So I need to go get some prep solvent and take that off. The other problem is this headliner. This seal is actually made with a double edge on it, and the edge on the inside is so you can tuck the headliner underneath it, and that is easier said than done because there's not much left to tuck. I am going to have a tough time with that. I will go get the prep sol and get this all cleaned up before I start trying to actually push the headliner back in. I think the worst case scenario here will be that I just put some adhesive on the back side of the headliner and stick it back up there. But I'd rather have a unbroken windshield than a perfect headliner, because the saggy headliner won't fail inspection in Missouri, but the broken glass will. So that means that I can get this car a legal beagle. Okay, it's been a day or so. I did manage to get all the Butyl off of the rubber. I did it with brake clean, and then I just protected it with some, interior spray that has ceramic in it. One big problem is this headliner. It's supposed to slot into the window seal, and it very much does not. So I'm going to have to figure out what to do about that later. For now, I've just covered it with the Broadway mirror. So for people who've asked about this before, it's just a big old racing mirror with a bunch of panels on it. And you can, if you're sitting in this spot in the driver's seat, you can, see every angle that you could possibly need to see. It's very handy for the racings and for the street. It can be a bit disorienting when backing up, but that's the only time that I find it to be not cool. But that'll probably do it for this time. I feel like I might have taught you something. My aim wasn't to teach you how to do it yourself. It was to teach you that you shouldn't do it yourself. Most things you can do yourself. Sometimes you just can't do it yourself, and that's okay. In the case of the windshield, I don't trust myself to do such things, so I did not do it. But you know what? If you want to take a stab at it, I'd say be my guest, you know, give it your best shot, because the thing that matters is that you get the windshield replaced and you get out there, you get back on the road, because you got to go out and find your own apex, as it is better late than never. And now feast your eyes on the visual sensations. Sensation? And now feast your eyes on the visual sensation that is Dale. And we shall see you next time.